Warning. The following video contains spoilers from AMC's The Walking Dead.
Hi, they call me the governor, and after 2 weeks of Kings and Tigers and Daryls, well, one of each, we finally get back to see how Rick's doing after Negan taught him that valuable lesson. And my, is he a changed man. So Negan shows up early, and are we really surprised by this? If he had given Rick all that time, it's possible some thoughts might have started going around in Rick's head. Or maybe one of the heads of the other people who watch their friends' heads get bashed in. Like Michonne, for instance. Never been a big fan of Michonne. Killed my daughter. Took my eye. Stabbed me in the back. And now she's hiding guns from Rick and planning on being an assassin. Such a nasty woman. But while she's out there terrorizing the local wildlife, she misses Negan's arrival. He comes swaggering in like he owns the joint, which of course he says he does. And Rick's attitude the entire time is just priceless. He's stunned. He's like a Democrat right after the last election. Though it's kind of ironic that his leader took all his guns away, but more on that later. So Negan's band of bullies start going through Alexandria, taking what they will, ransacking the place. And of course, Father Gabriel shows up to say hi to Negan, freaks him the hell out. I don't know, what is it, bad church experience? But moving on, while Rick doesn't seem to have a pair anymore, well, that Carl sure has some big cojones. You know, when they start messing with the medicine, deciding to take that, and he objects to how much they're taking, he just faces them down with a gun. Of course, that brings Negan running, and I'm actually a little surprised he didn't take Carl out. But then, of course, after Carl surrenders his weapon, that's when Negan suddenly gets the idea. He's got to take away Rick's guns. Yeah, right. Is anyone buying that? He was going to do that from the beginning. You could tell by the way that Dwight disarmed Rosita and Spencer as they were leaving. But you know, I think that's pretty much what Negan does for the most part. They still have some guns over in the kingdom, but look at the hilltop. They're fighting people with arrows and spears. I don't think Negan likes having those guns around. I think he likes to have all the guns. On a little side note, keeping all your guns in one place? That is the stupidest rule that Rick inherited from Deanna and didn't bother changing. You know, one little house fire, and there goes your armory. Not to mention, if you remember, there was the little incident where all those friggin' biters were coming in. Maybe having those guns dispersed a little bit might have helped out. Not to mention that wolf situation. Come on, Rick. Use your head. Oh, when Rick is looking for those 2 guns that Spencer hid away, and he has to tell everyone how he's not in charge anymore and Negan is, there are some moments you just want to savor forever. Honestly, I've only watched it about 20 times, but that's just so far. So, of course, Rosita and Spencer end up retrieving Daryl's bike for Dwight. So now Dwight has everything he needs to be an awesome Daryl cosplayer. But of course, on this little mission, Rosita shows she's quite the badass, killing off a bunch of walkers for a gun that's empty. Oops. So Rick is a little bitch, lets Negan take everything he wants. But of course, this is because he wants to survive. And he wants Judith to survive, even though he knows that Judith isn't his, it's Shane's child. I wonder if Carl's figured that out. That's going to be an interesting conversation. Oh, by the way, Daryl, normally a man of few words, even less in this episode. Must have been easy for Norman to memorize all his lines. And only one expression on his face, too. The default Daryl face. And there it was, walking around, doing Negan's bidding. Wonder if, did they play Easy Street for him a little bit more? Does it feel so sweet? I guess he just didn't want to be responsible for having anyone else's head bashed in. I gotta say though, Negan plays a dangerous game. He just likes to rub the faces of people like Rick into the fact that they're so powerless. Talking about Maggie that way, making Rick carry around Lucille, taking their mattresses and that deer. For a second, Rick looked like he might actually decide to see how Lucille and Negan's head went together. But that moment passed. Still, you have to wonder. One day, is Negan just going to push a little too far? And Negan burning all those mattresses, that was definitely spitting in Rick's face. Of course, we know Rick doesn't spit. According to Negan, he swallows. So next week we get back to the hilltop. Well, people aren't too happy with how Rick has failed to kill Negan. And we get to catch up with Maggie and Sasha. But I do look forward to hearing from a bunch of people almost as displeased with Rick as I am. That's all for now. Governor, out.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Here's a couple more I think you might enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe. Remember, those who subscribe survive.